Hello, good afternoon one all. Hope you all doing very well on this Sunday afternoon. We are back for another review of our latest game yesterday, which ended in a 1-0 loss at home. An absolute shambles of a performance. It was that bad that I'm struggling to know where to begin. But we're going to try. We're going to go through the game, do what we usually do. But honestly, it was bad, and what we witnessed yesterday, for me, was completely unacceptable. From the players to the manager, everybody is accountable, and yeah, completely let down by this team once again. But look, first, before I do get into, I do want to wear dress. Obviously, I've been quite not as active recently. Obviously, I was supposed to do a preview for this game, but on Friday. But yeah, obviously I had a pretty difficult end to last week, and I just decided to take a few days off social media. To be honest with you, I needed it, and yeah, that's where I've been. Apologies for not being on, but I'm sure you guys will understand that. Yeah, just wasn't in the right headspace, wasn't in the right motivational state either, and I wouldn't have been able to come on here. It would be too much for me. So appreciate your understanding, but we are back. We've got a good week ahead, hopefully. Well, I don't know if a good week's the word right, but we've got a good week of content ahead, at least. And we can't always rely on Huddersfield Town to do the business, can we? Because we can always rely on them, though, to let us down, of course. Which, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore. But let's say a few hellos to the chat before we get going. But big up to everyone that's in right now. Make sure you do drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and let me know your thoughts down below on the game, what you thought of it as we go along as well. It'd be good to hear from you in the chat. But first, let's see. Joshua's in. Afternoon, Ryan. Hope you're well. Afternoon to you, Joshua. Hope you're doing well yourself. Thank you. And Ace says, hi, mate. Do I need to ask how you're feeling? Because I know what you're going to say. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, when you're feeling down as it is, and then you go and watch Town, and then just make you feel 10 times worse. Yeah, I don't know how I feel right now. I just feel completely flat, deflated. Yeah, just rubbish, to be honest with you. But yeah, big up to you, and thank you for tuning in. And hope you're doing as well as you can as well. You know, you see, when people say football is just a game, it's not a game. It's not just a game. It's something that some people, it's the only thing that some people only have to look forward to in the week, and it's more than a game. And if you're a football fan, you will absolutely understand that. And Aiden says, make sure to smash the like, and subscribe for you. Yeah, big up. Do what Aiden says, my wonderful mod. It does help the channel a lot, guys. It is really much appreciated as well. It does help the channel a lot. Thank you very much, Aiden. And John's in. Yeah, John. We are going to be doing a preview to our game against Birmingham City tomorrow night, and John is joining me for our match preview. We'll get a bit of insight into the opposition, rather than me waffling on, pretending that I know what I'm talking about. I'd like to say I do, you know what I'm talking about. But we've got expert summary of a Birmingham fan coming in and discussing things, all things Birmingham with us and everything. So good to get him on. So don't miss that tomorrow night, guys. And it says poor performance yesterday, poor tactics, poor defending, attacking. What attacking? We didn't even look like scoring yesterday. Never mind win. Yeah, look, it was just poor in every aspect, wasn't it? I absolutely agree with what you're saying. So bad. We didn't look like scoring. We could have played for another 90 minutes. We wouldn't have scored. And thank you very much, Aidan. I appreciate that. Sending love back to you too. But yeah, look, we're going to get straight into it then, because look, I mean, we've already kind of alluded to, you know, it was a shambolic display in every department yesterday. In the build-up to the game, the excuses by the happy clappers of this fan base, about, Bolton have sacked their manager, so it'll be tough now. And all these conspiracy theories about how teams sack managers before they play us. How about we just focus on ourselves and play to our best, and the result will take care of itself, instead of finding every excuse under the book to come out with when we don't end up getting the result that we want. It's absolutely ludicrous. When are we going to take accountability and responsibility for our performances and just do the business instead of finding every excuse? I certainly don't ever find an excuse. I just say it how it is, me. But a lot of this fan base just completely, constantly just making excuse after excuse all the time. I'm tired of it. But look, let's get into the team lineups. First of all, so yeah, look, 3 changes made to the team. Hogg, Evans and Balker all get a starting spot. Home debuts, of course, for Charles and Taylor, who lead the line for us. Koroma, Kane and Hodge all making way, but all still make the bench. And it's the first start of it was the first start of the campaign for Radinho Balker, who is now fully fit after fracturing his ankle in pre-season. So yeah, full lineup. Obviously, Jacob Chapman in goal. A back 3 of Pearson, Lees, and Balker. The 2 wing backs, Ollie Turton, and I think actually put Ollie Turton and Brodie Spencer, and then obviously the midfield 3 in the centre of Hogg, Wiles and Evans, and then obviously Taylor and Charles lead the line. But look, let's get into the first half. Before we do, let's just in fact, I was going to say, look, I wasn't particular. For me, I'm tired of seeing this. When you're playing a back 3, you cannot have Lees and Spencer starting together. I'm sorry. So that was baffling. I don't really know why Wiles keeps getting automatic starts, because he's been dreadful for weeks now, by the way. But he keeps getting starts for some reason. It's certainly not on merit, that's for sure. He's been dreadful. And as much as I think Hogg made a difference when he came on in the last game, I don't particularly think he's a starter still, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't. He'll come on and make a good impact, but I don't think I don't think he makes an impact from the start anymore, because of how because he's got on a little bit now. He's a bit older. He's at the last stage of his career. So again, I wasn't really feeling this lineup. I wasn't exactly happy with it, if I'm being honest with you. It was good to see Balker back in the starting lineup, absolutely. That was a big plus for me to see him back starting. And obviously, it was good to see Charles and Taylor for the first time too, because obviously I hadn't seen them in person. So it was good to see them 2 start. But yeah, apart from that, I think everything else is pretty much routine. But that was my thoughts on the lineup. Norris, mates, and sad to hear that you had to take a break from social media, but take as much as you need. Thank you very much, Josh. I appreciate that. No problem at all. Thank you. And Aidan says, let's face it, nearly everyone was poor yesterday, especially Hogg, Lees, and Charles. Lees walking on the ball. Yes, walking on the ball. Charles not offering any threat, and Hogg too slow midfield. Yeah, it was completely a disjointed performance, wasn't it? It was disjointed in every aspect. I think, apart from Balker, I don't see anybody taking any credit away from that. To be fair, Chapman did make a good save, even though it was offside, but he still was called upon when we needed him. But still, too slow from the back. And we're going to get into it. But yeah, apart from Chapman and Balker, I think the rest were dreadful. Balker was the only player who actually looked good yesterday, and that's saying something. Yeah, he was the standout quite clearly, wasn't he? But look, obviously the first half, it was certainly a cagey opening 10 minutes, wasn't it, for us? Bolton had the momentum in the opening stages. And as I just alluded to there, a superb save from Chapman from point blank range being the highlight. Even if the Bolton striker was offside, it was a great stop with Chapman not knowing the flag was up, so it was a good stop. And then Chapman was tested again, a no good stop from Chapman as he beats away a shot from Collins. And then again, far too easy Bolton to get in behind us currently, which is just causing big issues, especially for Lees and Pearson, who's struggling to cope with Bolton's front two. Surprise, surprise. And we just started this game so badly, guys. We were so cagey. We were yet to get our foot on the ball in the opening 10 minutes and start playing. And nothing happened in that opening time. And then obviously into the opening like half an hour or so, Bolton were trying to mix things up and looking to get, we were coming into the game slightly a little bit. We were trying to get in behind Bolton's defence to bring in the strength of Taylor and Charles, but it's just not working. It just wasn't working currently. It really wasn't. We did start to look better as the game went on, but it's still Bolton who looked the more dangerous when going forward. They looked the more dangerous. Now, we were forced into a change. Wiles had to come off due to an injury and Kane came on. Like I said, I don't know why Wiles has kept getting automatic starters because he's been awful for weeks, doing nothing. But yeah, he's come off. He limped off, but he wasn't on a stretcher, so I'm not sure how bad it is, but we'll soon find out in the coming days. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, it was a pretty boring half. That's all there is to say about the first half, really. My take-homes for the first half was that, there were nothing to note to write about in terms of for either side in that first half. Bolton probably started better, but since then it's pretty even. We were really struggling to find the quality needed to carve out a chance for our strikers, who had no service whatsoever in the first, in that first half. They were required to get into the game. Yeah, I know Aidan, you said about Dion Charles not playing that great, but what service did he really have to feed off? Yes, he did have a few good touches. He did link up a little bit at a time and did well. A few touches that got away from him as well, but that's maybe understandable with a lack of match kind of practice he's had recently. I'm not making excuses for him, by the way, but it is true. You can train all you like, but if you're not playing matches consistently, then you're going to be a little bit rusty. So yeah, Charles does you good things, but our strikers weren't getting any chances whatsoever because there was just no service. Balker had a solid half. His first start of the season at the back, he was very, very good, wasn't he? And we knew going into the second half, we needed to find a few more gears, in that second half if we want to take maximum points here, in this one. And we needed to come out in the second half and really, go at them and really up it a bit because, up it a lot to be fair, because it was an awful first half. And Aidan says, by the way, why did Pearson keep going forward and leaving two defenders at the back? Pearson, you're not a wing back, so why are you going in the wing position? I don't know. Is it the instructions from Duff? What is it? I don't understand it. I don't know why he's doing that. I really don't. And then, like you said, because he hasn't got much pace, he can't really afford to be going out into the wing back area anyway, because then we're exposed massively at the back. And he's not going to be able to get back, is he? Because he's so slow, then he's just not going to be able to do it. So I have no idea. I don't know. And Ian says, when are our players actually going to talk to each other? Talking is the most important part of football. Yeah, the lack of communication is all to see, isn't it? At times, players going for the same ball. And it's just like, what are you doing? Communicate. Like you said, it's one of the most important parts of football is communication. It's a team game. You have to communicate. And we see time and time again players going for the same ball and not. It looked like they looked like they were strangers out there. Our team looked like we'd never played with each other before. I know, okay, barring the two lads up front who technically are still getting used to the team, fair enough, give them the benefit of the doubt. But the rest of them, they look like strangers to each other. So second half, again, I'm not really sure why there were no substitutions made at half time, because I'm sorry, when you play as badly as that at home and you've made no substitutions, Duff got it wrong. He got it wrong. Make the change at half time to try and spark us into life. Do something. Don't just leave it the same. I thought, again, we weren't really starting the second half that much better, you know. Had a few, felt like we were a little bit in the ascendancy, a little bit better than but like the first half isn't any comparison. But yeah, but we didn't. But we may have had the momentum, but we were creating nothing still. There was nothing being created. And then guess what? Bolton go up the other end, and they get their goal. And we're going to talk through the goal as well now, with a few of the things that we're going to talk about here. So let's look at this. Then let's talk you through the goal. So here we are, the ball fed through by the Bolton defenders, Bolton midfielder, sorry. And as you can see, Pearson he's in front of the ball, so he's going to meet it instead of the striker for Bolton, who was just behind him. But look at the defence. Where's the defence? And why is there a big gap on that right hand side? What the hell is going on? You know, so the defensive structure was completely out at this point. We overcommitted, and then Bolton came on and they tried to get in behind us again. And what Pearson did after this, by the way, was dreadful. And look at the right. Ollie Turton's strolling back. We've got, I think that's Kane in the middle, just stood still. Nobody busting a gut to get back and trying to get back into shape to help Pearson out. And then Pearson ends up heading it straight to the bottom man. The ball lands at the number 12's feet, as you can see, right of centre. And look at Collins, who was in acres of space to run into. Nobody tracking him. Feeds the ball through. Look at this. All the time in the world. Lee's, for some reason, completely out of position. And then it was a strike into the back of the net. But I just think the defending was absolutely atrocious. And look at the defensive structure again, look. All over the place. We've got Turton, who is, I don't know what he's doing on the edge of the penalty area. We've got Kane on the edge of the penalty area. And a few others just stood there watching. So no, it was a goal that was completely avoidable, and we chose to go to sleep and do what we did. Duff said Bolton came here for a point. I'm watching a different game because I'm certain I saw a Bolton team who wants to win. It was us who was playing for a draw. Yeah, well, it looked like we were playing to lose, to be honest with you. And that's being kind, playing to draw. We looked like we were playing to lose the way we were playing. We were just giving Bolton encouragement, saying, "Go on, get yourself a winner. We're not going to score, so you might as well get one," kind of scenario. So yeah, I think Duff's comments after the game, a few comments I'm not really aligning to. We're gonna get into that in a moment, but. I didn't really understand the nonsense he were coming out with after the game, if I'm being honest. But yeah, Bolton wanted to win it more. You know, they got the goal and then they sat back, and you know what I mean. And they sat on their 1-0 lead. So yeah, and it's why do players, when they want a free kick from the ref, why did the player just stop, place the whistle? Yeah, I know. That's just a basic thing that you should be doing, shouldn't you? You know, play to the whistle. That's what you're told as a young kid. Play to the whistle. So why have we got players that are just stopping? And then guess what? After the goal conceded, let's make some changes. For some reason, that should have come earlier, but Duff decides to wait until we're 1-0 down before making changes, by the way. Disgraceful. Taylor and Turton brought off and replaced by Sorensen and Marshall. Now, obviously, Taylor has had a lack of minutes. I can understand it to a degree, but kind of like, obviously, he lasted 59 minutes, I think it was, on the clock when he took him off. He's had 2:59. He's had good good 2 hours of football in the last 2 games. So, he's building up those minutes. Turton brought off, which again, obviously Turton, he's not a wing back anyway, so I can understand why he brought him off. Sorensen came on for Turton and Taylor came off for Marshall. So, good to see Marshall on. And then nothing happened in between. Then we make another double change further on, final 20 minutes. Cromer and Hodge come on to replace Balker and Hogg. Now, I get that Balker has not played many minutes, guys, but the reality is he's actually played a lot of B team matches, and then he's kind of played a few. So for me, I think I would have liked to have seen Balker still. I know that obviously was, the staff have to be careful with him, and I get that, but when you're taking Balker off, then you're leaving yourself completely exposed at the back, even more so, and you're asking Spencer to go to centre back, into one of the centre back positions, which, yes, he'll do a job for you there, but he's not a centre back. So this idea that you can play players out of position and expect them to do the best of their ability in that position is nonsense. Spencer is better on the wing as a wing back. Simple as that. And we needed to spark from somewhere. Someone, change up the tactics for goodness sakes. And nothing was happening. Bolton were just slowing the game down. We weren't creating anything still. And then only 5 minutes left in the game. Not looking likely for us to score. We never really looked like scoring, as we already alluded to. And since falling behind, we never looked like we were going to get back in the game. Marshall came on and had the only half chance of the game. Yeah, the only half chance of the game as he turned as I said, and he shot from a tight angle, forced the keeper into a save. But the game fizzled out, and 1-0. The unbeaten streak comes to an end at 16 games. So for our first league defeat since October last year. But we really struggled to carve up any real opportunities, didn't we, yesterday? And that solitary away goal is the difference in this one, ultimately. And it is very hard not to overreact to a performance like this, because it was one of them games yesterday where nothing worked for Duff. From team selection to substitutions, nothing paid off. And we deserve to lose. Now, I want to say something about this beat and run, by the way, because I'm tired of this. Now that the unbeaten run is over, at least we won't see the club waxing lyrical about this unbeaten run, which means absolutely zero, by the way, when you're drawing to teams in the bottom half of the table in that run. You'd think an unbeaten run entitles you to promotion, with the way everyone's been going on about it recently. In fact, the happy clapper fans that love to be in the fake positivity bubble. And then the club tweeting out when we're literally drawn to bloody Burton and, Blackpool and Rotherham and all these teams that we should be beating. And we talk about unbeaten runs. I'm sorry. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise this unbeaten run has gone, because I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. And that's just papered over the cracks of how poor we've been, to be honest with you, in that run where we've managed to get 6. And I think it just papered over the cracks of how we played anyway, to be honest with you. I think we've got away with a lot of things this season. I don't think we've not been great. We've rode our luck a lot of times. And it's not been a season that, we've won games, but you'd expect that at this level. But it's certainly not been exactly brilliant as it at all in any way, shape or form. But look, my take home's completely devoid of ideas from minute one. That's the first point I want to make. Completely devoid of ideas. The players don't seem to know what they're doing. The lack of urgency. I mean, guys, how frustrating. The lack of urgency of our play. It's been a recurring theme this season, by the way, this constant slow from the back. Why can't we mix it up a little bit? And why are we lobbing the ball forward to our 5'9" strikers? Where's the common sense in that, please? Can somebody just answer that? Because I don't get it. The passing, awful. Too slow as well, passing. Nobody making movements. One-dimensional stuff. Tactics, I'm afraid. There's no plan B whatsoever, is there? And I talk about the urgency. There's no urgency whatsoever. Deliveries into the box, atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Movement off the ball, lackluster, rubbish. And shots, we're going to get into the stats in a minute, actually, in a moment. But having one shot on target in 90 plus minutes of the injury time as well of football is nothing short of an embarrassment. It was pathetic from minute one, I must say. Now, I do want to touch on, and we're going to go to the comments in a moment. I do see your comment there. I want to talk about the formation because I think this has been a big issue, to be honest with you. I've said for ages now, to be fair, I don't like the three at the back. Never have, never will. And when we've got the personnel we have at the moment, you can't play three at the back when you've got 2 out of the 3 players with 0 pace. The wing backs, both players he started yesterday, both defensive. So both defensive players. So effectively, we're playing 5 at the back at home. We're playing at 5 at the back at home, and that is how we set up for most parts of this game. 0 creativity in the middle of the park, nothing. And that display yesterday was an absolute pathetic display in every aspect. No plan B. We don't have a plan B, guys, and this is the problem I have with Duff as well. It's plan A or no plan at all. He doesn't have a plan B, and he isn't prepared to have a plan B either. That's so stubborn in his ways. And who the hell is the set piece coach? Evans is not fit to wear the shirt. He's absolutely horrendous. When he came in, there was a lot of hope for him, and obviously he was going to come in and make a big impact this season and do well. And I'm not buying this, he's been injured, so let him get his feet. No, he was awful before he got injured, and he's offered nothing since he's come to the club, to be honest with you. So no, he's been awful. And it really much feels like Nagel needs to get his checkbook out again and sign some players. But look, let's have a look at the comments. We've missed a few. How cool were the crosses in the second half? Not even looking like getting to a town play. Yeah, the crossing into the box has been shocking for weeks, hasn't it? Really, I mean, it's just not good enough, is it at all? It's so bad. Town players at full time clapping the fans were actually poor because I couldn't see any fans clapping back to them. I didn't clap them because they didn't deserve it. Yeah, I mean, for me, just get yourself down the tunnel. Don't need to clap. You've just absolutely been shocking from minute one, and you have the cheek to go around and clap and expect to clap back from the fans. Get yourself in that dressing room and stop bloody taking the piss out of us all. Sorry for swearing, guys, but I'm fuming today. I'm absolutely fuming. And it's good to let off a lot of steam in this show because I've been chomping at the bit to get on here since yesterday after the game. I really have. But yeah, they didn't deserve it one bit. Absolutely not. You weren't getting clapped off that field, and they certainly didn't warrant that clap off. Didn't deserve anyone clapping them off the field. They were awful. Don't worry to get everything together. Let's stick together after defeat. No, not after that performance. Yeah, how cringy is that, by the way? That slogan is so cringy. Everything together. It's such a cheesy slogan. It is so bad, honestly. No, we're not sticking together when we've seen performances like this, and we're getting lucky week after week. We're drawing to teams that we should be beating and playing so badly that we deserve to lose the games that we're drawing in as well. And John said, I thought you looked like a typical Michael Duff side, to be honest. As soon as you conceded first, it looked a tough game, plus Bolton were really up for it too. Yeah, look, I'm sorry, but you need a plan B. Duff hasn't got a plan B, and it is worrying. And the reality is you need a reaction when you concede, or maybe you just need to show some intent from the first whistle instead of waiting for the opposition to score to start playing. But look, Bolton were up for it, yeah, but why weren't we up for it? Why weren't we up for the game? We just looked like we turned up and couldn't have we didn't care what the result was going to be. And can I just ask a question to you guys as well? When was the last time we created quality chances from open play? Can somebody answer that? Because I can count on the one hand the number of times we've played a through ball for our strikers to run onto. But the reality is we rely on set pieces and scrappy second balls in the area. That's not creativity. And XG is a nonsense stat, by the way. I'm never going to mention that word. XG is a waste of complete time, you know. And like I said, it was a really poor performance. One of the worst home performances in a while. Disjointed across the park. Poor quality. And it was just atrocious. You know, the manager, the players have to take full ownership of that total and utter shit show from minute one. Can't hide behind injuries anymore and fatigue. Sick of it. Sick of the excuses. And I think anyone who thinks this team can get automatic promotion at this stage, I think you're just living in that fake positivity bubble, because I'm telling you now, we are nowhere near that automatic promotion push at all. We are not serious, because how many times have we gone into games where we've had the chance to close the gap and we failed to do so? We've played first and we failed to put the pressure on and close that gap. So we don't look like an automatic promotion side, and yeah, that's the reality of it. And like I said, we hardly any players, we still. And I think when we, another point as well is when we hardly had any players on the bench, once upon a time. Our players looked knackered, and we still played better than we did like yesterday. Evans and Wiles were poor today. Yesterday we need that creativity and passing, that spark. Nothing. Ended up working down the flanks tactically, just all over the place, a mess. Tactically a mess, and I'm afraid to say it. I'm not going hard on the manager right now, but Michael Duff. 26 games in and yet to see even a style of play. How are we fourth? How are we actually fourth? Is it just because the league is so bad that we're fourth? Because I don't see any style of play there whatsoever. So yeah, I think that is what I want to say. But look, we're going to get into the player ratings part of the show now. And yeah, not many players are getting high ratings from me. Absolutely not. In this segment, because nobody warranted it, quite frankly. Aiden said, "I'll be surprised if Birmingham are not 4-0 up at half-time on Tuesday night." Well, a player like that, I know it'll be a training session for them on Tuesday night. Absolutely, it'll be an easy, comfortable win for them. Absolutely. So yeah. No confidence whatsoever going into that game at all. But guys, let's start going into the player rating. So first up, Jacob Chapman did really pull off a spectacular save on 10 minutes, didn't he? Obviously, it wasn't to know that Aaron Collins was offside. Did well to stop a 1v1 later on in the game as well, denying Randall after coming off his line. Wasn't her fault for the goal. I think Chapman, for me, gets a 6. Didn't do much wrong. I do think that his urgency, the way he messes about the back, it is infuriating. I think the lack of urgency from the back, it doesn't just come from the goalkeeper, but it just starts with the goalkeeper. The lack of urgency from the back is painful to watch, isn't it? Why is it when we're 1-0 down as well, we're passing it along the back line and we're just not doing it when, to me, we're just messing around in the back. Get the ball forward, for goodness sakes. I don't just mean lump it forward, because we've got small strikers. We're not going to get any joy doing that. And we're just hit and hope in the end. Just hitting and hoping for the best. Matty Pearson. Yeah, look, I think Matty Pearson was very, very poor. Had some issues in the first 10 minutes or so. Pretty much common with the rest of our side, to be honest with you, wasn't it? But he did kind of settle down a little bit. Got forward, got forward a bit, but didn't have the quality to provide the final ball as well when he got forward a little bit. Did what he could to try and stuff out Bolton in the attack, but again, the goal, I think it was down to him. He headed it straight to the bottom man, and then they were in then because they had the easy ball over the top into Connor's path. So yeah, I think he was all over the place. 6s and 7s, I'm afraid. For me, Matthews in a 5. Tom Lees looked overwhelmed in the opening minutes, improved defensively, but continues to stray, doesn't he, Lees? Ponderous work on the ball, chasing the goal against a low block, looked frustrated himself. Didn't read the situation right for the Bolton goal either. Stepping towards the ball instead of covering the man. This is basics, guys. Don't follow the ball. To me, if you've got a man over, you've got players in that position to cover the ball at that point. You need to make sure you need to make sure what's around you, not just get focus, get drawn into the ball. It's basics. So no, for me, Tom Lee was dreadful. I'm going to give him a 4. Balker was one of the very few highlights of the afternoon. Thought he was brilliant. Got his first start of the season, looked impressive. Breezed past opponents, didn't he? With these showed off his forward passing variety too. He was caught out of position of committing to an attempt in the opinion winning early challenge though at one point, wasn't he? But his teammates had plenty of opportunities to stop it from there though, and we didn't. So yeah. So look, I think Balker did very well. I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was very good. Turton gets a 6, put in an okay shift, but again, not a wing back, and doesn't get forward like we needed to in that position. And defensively, a bit all over the place at times. Went off for Sorensen as well for the final 30 minutes. Ben Wiles, I'm going to give him a 4. Injured just less than half an hour into the game. After being stepped on by the Bolton player. Tried to play on, but couldn't shrug it off. Thought it was awful. Didn't do anything at all, did he? The time was on. Paul gets a 5. Had a few clumsy touches in the game, to be honest, if he opened changes. Settled in, though, played some promising early balls, looking for Charles and that, but went off for Joe Hodge later on as he was tiring. Yeah, okay, but like I said, wasn't the best. Anthony Evans, I mean, he was absolutely woeful. I'm going to give him a 3. Into the starting line for the first time since October. Bright enough start, but once again, started to look desperate as the game turned against us, particularly after going a goal down. Really awful at times, his play, awful. Took over set-piece duties from Wiles, as he has in the past few games, and is really yet to show that why he should be taking those set-pieces, because his deliveries were woeful. I'm sure there were like 1 or 2 times where we had a corner and the ball ended up going straight out of play from the corner. It's utterly embarrassing. Spencer, for me, gets a 6. Started at left wing back before taking over from Balker for the final stage in the centre back role. One of Town's better players in a cagey first half before taking a back seat to supposedly more creative players after the break. Excellent tackle later on tonight, Bolton. A big chance and a decent looking penalty shout waved away in the final minute as well. So yeah, I think Spencer did okay. Charles had a poor game, to be fair. Chased well to try and get onto the ball over the top or win off opponents in the first half. Quieter after the break though. Bolton increasingly looked to just frustrate us and see out the lead. I think he gets a 5 for me. Like I said, a lot of his rating is down to lack of service as well. He didn't get much to feed off today. But then again, you do need to be showing a little bit more than he did as well, I must admit. Joe Taylor showed some brilliant touches and obviously clearly had the pace to get behind if we could just find the right ball for him, which we never did. Went off in a planned sub about an hour after having had an ultimately pretty anonymous showing, really, didn't he? I'm going to give Taylor a 5. Pretty average, wasn't it? Just not really doing anything. Sorry, let's get to the comments before we get into the further along this ratings. Apologise. I don't think Duffy's the man, even if we go up. I can't see him doing anything in the championship. Look, Keith, good afternoon to you. Welcome in. I agree. I was thinking about that. I'm not just saying it, but I was thinking about this. Like, if we were to get promoted, am I really confident having Duffy in the dugout in the championship? Nah, not really at all. You know, like I said, just on the plan B. I think it's his rigid, stubborn tactics, one way or no way. You've got to adapt in games. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting miracles. So, yeah, I agree, Keith. I'm not convinced either. Not making this an excuse, but how cool was that ref yesterday? Yeah, again, another ref against us. Surprise. Yeah, I mean, look, the referee was appalling, and I will admit that. But the reality is that we're not in control of that, and we know that the refs never give us anything. They're bad every week, aren't they? So we're always expecting them to be bad, let's be honest, before we go into any games. We're not in control of how badly the referee performs. We're in control of how we perform. And how we performed yesterday, like I said, we've already alluded to, it was completely and utterly shambolic from the start to the finish. So, to me, I get what you're saying, but I'm not going to sit here and criticise the ref any more than I've done. I think he was bad, absolutely bad, but we were bad. We're not in control of that. We have to control our own performance levels. And we were so bad yesterday that we didn't deserve to win that game at all, let alone draw. We didn't deserve to draw it either, to be fair. So, yeah, we deserved to lose. Alan says, poor performance from the first minute. We should have had 2 proper wing-backs available for the Birmingham game, which can give us proper width. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously we do have, I believe, Ruskin is back for the Birmingham game. So, yeah, look, get him straight in there as far as I'm concerned. And, yeah, we need proper wing-backs. But the reality is, I do worry about the centre of the field. We haven't got creativity, guys. I look at it and I'm thinking to myself, who is trying to feed those balls through? Who's trying to create something out of nothing? Who's trying to find that spark that we need? I don't see anybody at that point doing that. That's a worry. And then you're relying on your wing-backs, which obviously the wing-backs, you know, this system is all about, you know, the width of the pitch, obviously, you know, using the wing-backs to get the deliveries in. But then the deliveries have to be a lot better than what we've seen in the past. So, I don't know anymore. It's just shocking, isn't it? Taylor and Charles need service. Yeah, they do. I kind of said that, Adam, to be fair. Like, I get that they need service, but you do expect a little bit more still from what we saw yesterday. But yeah, I get that. You know, their rating reflects how much little service they had. They didn't have anything to feed off at all. And to be honest with you, I forgot to bring up the stats, which we'll get into in a moment. We'll finish off our ratings, though. The subs, Kane, for me, bright start to the second. I had a couple of volleys from half, cleared set piece, but I wouldn't affect that. Yeah, gave the ball away to allow Bolton a one-on-one with Chapman. That obviously the keeper thankfully saved him from. So for me, he wasn't the best. For me, I'm going to give him a 5. Sorensen came on. Obviously had a goal chance to either finish or pull the ball back across the box for the final kick of the game, if you remember. But instead put a tame touch straight at the keeper. I think he gets a 6 for me. He did all right, but nothing spectacular, nothing great either. Marshall came on, produced a shot from a narrow angle, the only chance of the match that we had on target, 10 minutes to go. That finally fought, you know, and we finally forced the keeper into a save. I think Marshall gets a 6. Karoma, a 5. Ineffective at wing back, frustrating to say the least, with his end product. I like Karoma at times, but I also think he's one of the most frustrating players to watch as well, because his end product is he's just nowhere near good enough. Absolutely not. It's more bad than good in terms of end product. That's where I see Karoma at the moment. Ferry's on the wing-back area, which, to be honest with you, he's not a wing-back anyways, but still has to be doing better. Hodge came on. Obviously, he did play that lovely through ball, didn't he, to produce that Marshall chance. I'm going to give him a 5, maybe 5.5, 6. But he looked bright when he came on. But, yeah, that's my player ratings, guys. But look, let's have a look at the stats in the game. And look, we had most of the possession. I don't really care about possession. To be fair, it's about what you do with it. And most of that possession was our own half, messing around at the back rather than playing forward-thinking football. We had 14 shots, 1 on target, utterly dreadful. 7 shots for them. They had 3 on target. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than just not good enough in every aspect. I've kind of covered what I need to say in this show. Kind of let off a little bit of steam. And yeah, it was just an overall disappointing, lackluster, pathetic display. Look, guys, I hate losing games, but I think it's the manner of the way we lose games at times. And the game yesterday, the way we lost that game, that is not how to lose a game. That was absolutely embarrassing. So yeah, look, we're gonna kind of wrap up the show. Kind of said what I need to say in this video. I know it wasn't the best, the most happiest of streams, guys, but I think we all needed to let off a bit of steam after yesterday. We all needed to let everything out of yesterday's frustrations. Yeah, so it wasn't the happiest of streams. I would love to be sat here talking positively and saying how well we played, but I'm not going to do that because you can't defend that performance that we saw. Fair enough. It says you've been playing bad, but Bolton fans celebrating like they won the league is embarrassing. I mean, it shows how bad of a season they've had when they're celebrating like that. I mean, to be fair, I only heard them as I was walking out the stadium. As soon as the final whistle went, I left straight away. So yeah, I only heard them, but yeah, they were acting like they'd won the league or something. But yeah, shows how little they've been able to celebrate this season anyway. But look, they deserve the win. We deserve nothing. And yeah, a big reaction. And I'm sick of saying it. And I feel like I'm a parrot half the time. A big reaction on Tuesday night. Because if we don't, we are going to get embarrassed and we're going to be beaten comfortably on Tuesday evening. So we best be best up our levels. We best make some changes. We're going to get into the preview to that game tomorrow night, guys. But I think that is all. I'm going to leave it there for now. But guys, thank you so much for watching this stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, I don't think enjoyed is the right word, but hopefully you enjoyed seeing me back. And we'll be back tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for the match preview. I'll be joined by John, who is a Birmingham City fan, so we'll have a bit of an opposition perspective. Rather than me talking about the opposition, we'll have John to speak about them. So yeah, that'll be a good show. I'm looking forward to having John on, and hopefully you guys can join me then. And we're going to go through the preview. And of course, content coming up, preview tomorrow, Tuesday, obviously match day, so nothing there. Wednesday, so I will be at the game, but I will be doing a vlog for the game. Wednesday, the review to the Birmingham game. Thursday, probably do a transfer show on Thursday, hopefully with a bit of news on signings. Because let me tell you guys, we need to get a centre-back in this building ASAP. I'm not having any more excuses. We need to get a centre-back in. And all those people that were saying, "Ooh, we'll be all right, we've got Balkers back now, and all this nonsense, right? We'll be fine. We were all right without Hellick before when we were missing him for a few games prior to him leaving. It's all right. Don't worry." Well, hopefully, those fans that said that, it shut them up yesterday after that shambolic performance in the defence, across the pitch as well. But in the defence, you could see how lacking of pace and quality we had at the back. The only one looking anywhere, the only one doing brilliant stuff at the back was Barker and the bright spark of that defence. The other two, utterly pathetic. And when people talk to me about Pearson scores goals and this and that and the other, and Lees is a threat from set pieces, the word is in the name of what they had. The word of defender is defend first. Do your defensive duties first. Goals are a bonus from your defenders. So when we're hyping up players because they're scoring goals from set pieces, like Pearson does, and Leeds causes the threat from set pieces too, then how about we look at the other end and how badly the defence is looking right now with those two starting games? That cannot continue, and we need to make some signings. So hopefully we do have some transfer news on Thursday for the transfer show, as we have got this week to get some players in the building, and I do want a creative midfielder because I think we're lacking so much creativity. There's nobody in that team that looks like they're going to create much. Hodge does play a few good through balls through. For some reason he's not favoured for Duff. So yeah, a lot of questions to be asked really after yesterday, and they need answering quickly. I don't think that we are going to get automatic promotion. I think that I'm not even going to mention that word anymore because we're nowhere near. So until I see consistency, until I see some form, capitalising on teams dropping points and doing it consistently, I'm not going to say that anymore because I just think that's a long distance dream at the moment. We're not playing well enough. We're getting lucky, and I think the formation I just don't like the formation at all. I like a back four, and you build up from there. Really, in my opinion, 2 centre backs in there, full backs, and build from there. I've never been a fan of this. I'm not just saying it because we lost yesterday. I've never been a fan of the 3 at the back. Don't like it. I don't like the wing backs, and when you haven't got the personnel to play that system as well, like we have it at the moment, you're playing 2 defensive wing backs. So you're playing 5 at the back, as I've already alluded to. So he's utter garbage tactics. No plan B from Duff. Shocking. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm waffling on again. I'm going on a rant again. And Aiden says, play the B team on Tuesday. I don't think they can do any worse, can they? On what we saw on Saturday. Absolutely not. So why not? But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you do drop a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you share the channel around with your friends and family. Let's try and get to 800 subscribers as soon as we can. That would be incredible. Appreciate every single one of you that supports the channel. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night with my special guest, John, Birmingham City fan, for the match preview for our game on Tuesday evening. So hope to see you then. Have a good rest of your Sunday, whatever you get up to, guys. And I will see you very soon. Take care of you.